This meeting is a meeting of the Southfield Board of Education in public for the purposes of conducting the school district's business. It is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in agenda item number 7. With that, I'd like to ask Mr. Royal Byrd to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. My name is Michael Poole, and I am the board president for the Southfield Public Schools.
Betty Robertson, Vice President.
Good evening. I'm Nathan Love, Secretary.
Good evening. Yolanda Charles, Treasurer.
Grant Williams, Trustee.
Nathaniel Lewis, Trustee.
Gerald B. Joyce, Trustee.
Danae Spears, Board Representative, Student Board.
Ariel Ginyard, Southfield Lathrop, Student Representative.
And Royal Birds, University High School Student Representative.
Linda Wood, Superintendent.
Kate Dankovich, Associate Superintendent.
Vicki Hall, Associate Superintendent, Human Resources and Labor Relations.
Derek Lopez, Associate Superintendent for Instruction.
Okay, we also have from M1 Studios, Mr. Mike Madigan, Marlita Gamble, and Jeff Wolka handling our audio and visual. And Miss Paulette Anderson and Miss Nicole Christian handling our meeting minutes. We have a special presentation this evening, and we have Mr. Don Whitford, the Vice President of Priority Health, is here today to generously donate a $10,000 check from Priority Health to the Southfield Public Schools.
All right.
Thank you. And trust me, it's not very often I get applause before I even say a few words, so I truly do appreciate it. Good evening, and it truly is our pleasure and my personal pleasure to be here at the Southfield Public Schools. At Priority Health, we're the second largest health plan in Michigan, and we remain committed to improving the health and lives of the people that we serve. One of our core corporate principles is to make sure we continually look for ways to give back to the communities that we serve. Because oftentimes these communities are the same communities where our employees live and work. And in our case here, in our East region, our vast majority of our employees live in Southfield, and our headquarters here is in Southfield. So we're thrilled to be able to partner yet again with the Southfield Public Schools on an innovative project that we put into place last fall. Last fall, we went to our members and encouraged them to go paperless. By doing so, our members agreed to receive future benefit and rate information electronically. By encouraging our members, we told them that we would make a donation on their behalf to a local school district, and we selected Southfield Public Schools as that district in the form of a technology grant up to $10,000. And I'm thrilled to be able to tell you this program was a great success. We reached our goal, and tonight it's my pleasure to present to Dr. Wood and Michael Poole a check for $10,000 on behalf of Priority Health. Thank you. And we continue to look for additional ways to partner with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Mr. President, I was going to ask to shake their hands, but I think just the check is enough on that.
I agree, Madam Treasurer.
Okay, I'll just go on into.
Okay. All right.
No, you go ahead. No,
Well, today's been a great day for Southfield Public Schools, and the district is opening a new comprehensive high school. Miss Jackie Robinson is here with a presentation.
Thank you, President Poole. Greetings, board members, superintendent, cabinet, and our community. How many of you were here at 5:30? Oh, man, I'm just going to go sit down. Well, in that case, we're here to talk about the new school name, colors, and mascot. And so for our viewing audience who perhaps did not catch it on YouTube, we just want to say that we're so proud of the work of our community, our board, our staff, and the students in developing the concepts for the new name, the new school colors, and the mascot. And so briefly, Associate Superintendent Mr. Lopez is going to share with us just a little bit about the work of the ambassadors.
Good evening, everyone. To the board, to the superintendent, to the members of the community. It is my pleasure and privilege to share with you some of the things that we did with the ambassadors. There were 40 students from both Southfield Lathrop and Southfield High School who participated in a process over a 2-month period where we met several times to develop the concepts of the mascot, the name, and the school colors. I will just tell you that I am just amazed and proud at the work that these young people did. They took this mission and this charge very, very seriously. They worked very diligently to develop concepts, the reasons why we have school colors, the reasons why we have school names, and the reason why we actually choose a mascot. And so their work, those 40 young people actually will create a living legacy that will last for decades in Southfield Public Schools. And I'm just really proud to have worked with those students from both schools.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. And so now the school mascot choices were Blue Chargers, Warriors, Bulls, and Patriots. And the winner is the Warriors. The school color choices were blue, white, red, black, gold, white, and gray, purple, gold, and black. And the winner is blue, white, and red. And finally, the school name choices were Southfield United High School, United Southfield High School, Southfield Central High School, and Southfield High School for the Arts and Technology. And, Dr. Wood told me to do this. The winner is Southfield High School for the Arts and Technology. Right. And that is wonderful. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, with the exciting revealing of the name of our new comprehensive high school, the colors and the mascot, there's an additional unfoldment that I would like to share. And with any new high school or any new school, the leadership is equally important. And I'm very pleased to have recommended to the Board of Education a woman in our community who will lead our new comprehensive high school. And I'd like to introduce to some and to celebrate with others Ms. Sonia Jackson. And Sonia, will you come to the podium?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening.
I'd like to thank first the board, the superintendent, Dr. Wood, and cabinet. I am humbled, honored, and excited that I have been selected as the new principal for the new Unified High School. I believe the new high school holds great promise and is being positioned to make significant academic gains over the next few years. It is my personal and professional pledge to model, inspire, challenge, support, and encourage every member of this new school community. My focus is on student success. This success is inclusive of academic achievement and character development. It is also guided by the principle that no one rises to low expectations. The new high school has a remarkable potential to develop lifelong learners and produce forward thinkers that can make an impressive contribution to this society. My goal of the new high school is to graduate all students college and or career ready. Therefore, the purpose is clear: to ensure that all students will graduate with a competitive 21st century skills and abilities. The strategy is simple. Every day we will aim high. Armed with a passion and purpose, I am challenged, yet motivated, to lead the new high school and engage all stakeholders in the realization of the district's goal for all of our students as we strategically and urgently focus on the continuous school improvement. I look forward with great anticipation to what we will accomplish in the years ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Jackson, we'd like to shake your hand again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. With that, our next item on the agenda is the report of student board representatives. And tonight, Ms. Brianna Boyd from Southfield High School is out of town. She's not in attendance. The first person that will report will be Mr. Royal Bird from the University of High School Academy.
Good evening. I'm Royal Bird, and I'm the student rep for University High School Academy, and here is your Eagle report for the month of January. So Dean Williams took the Zonta Club to the DIA to their 30 American exhibit on Wednesday, January 6th. Some of our Student Congress students will participate and help volunteer at this year's MLK Day Parade on Monday. Our StuCo will also host a fundraiser at Airtime in Troy on Wednesday, January 27th from 5 to 9 p.m. The price for that event is $20. The U is also pleased to celebrate two students who went to MSBOA, the Michigan School Band and Orchestra Association, who were honored to partake in that. The 5K again, our 5K again is on May 14th, 2016. We are also pleased to introduce a Glee Club that we introduced this month. So students in both UPrep and university will have the opportunity to participate in that as well. Final exam dates are January 25th through January 27th to conclude the first semester. Some of our students were able to give presentations and workshops on SMART goals. So they were able, some of our juniors and seniors, I believe, were able to talk to some of the underclassmen and also their peers about SMART goals and goal setting and how important it is to strategize with your time. Also, 3 of our students were awarded at the Oakland County Competitive Robotics Association Awards. Blake Coleman won MVP for our school. Brandon Rucker won honorable mention, and Ryan Arnold also won honorable mention. Our English teacher and AP seminar teacher, Mrs. Tori Moss, was selected to become an AP reader this month. And also she earned funding from DonorsChoose.org, which is like a GoFundMe site for teachers, for a project that she calls Chromebooks in the AP classroom. So she was able to earn money for that. So we'll have new Chromebooks that will come to our classrooms. Our PSAT scores came back in earlier this week, so students were able to access their PSAT scores through College Board and Khan Academy. So now they're able to set up their strategic curriculum on how to improve their scores. Yes. And lastly, Dean Williams and Mr. Patton will present at the College Board Midwestern Regional Conference, and their topic will be Khan Academy, more than just test prep. Yeah. Thank you. This concludes my report.
Very good. Our next student board representative will be Miss Ariel Ginyard from Southfield Lathrop High School.
Good evening, board members in Southfield and Lathrop Village community. I would like to begin your charger report with congratulations to Shannon Robinson, Paul Moe, Andrea Smith, Lyndon Carter, Kayla Phillips, Xavier Cobb, and Ajane Young on a job well done at DECA's district competition and for representing Southfield Public Schools in the upcoming state competition. Congratulations are also due to Jarrell Calhoun, Jalea Gordon, Amber Edwards, and Miaja Blair on their awards and participation in districts. Collectively, these 11 students were awarded a total of 21 medals. Great job, Chargers. 3 DECA students are preparing to attend a sports and entertainment conference in Orlando, Florida this coming February. And DECA members are also preparing for the state competition in April. Southfield Lathrop Student Congress is planning a charity week for February to raise money for the Special Olympics. They are also planning for the regional conference with the hopes of making it to state conference where they would have the opportunity to present in front of 1,700 other students. Student Congress has tons of community service events planned, working with several organizations like the upcoming MLK Walk, the American Red Cross, American Heart Association, and many, many more. They have been recognized as official members of the Gleaners Community Food Bank Half Ton Club for providing 1,135 pounds of food from the school-wide canned food drive, providing 942 meals to the community. NHS students are preparing for their half staff appreciation day that is halfway through the year on a half a day with everything halves. Just a little appreciation gimmick. They're also working on their Operation Gratitude campaign, gathering snacks for service members overseas. Lastly, on your charger report, congratulations to Ms. Taye Bello, the senior center for the Lady Chargers basketball team, who has been nominated for the McDonald's All-American game. Final picks will be made in early February for the game. Taye and her twin sister, Kende Bello, have both signed to play basketball at the University of Minnesota. Way to go, twins. The varsity girls basketball team have 2 games this week, today at Rochester Adams and Friday home against Oxford. The boys basketball team dominated in yesterday's game and is already in preparation for Thursday's game at Troy Athens High School. Boys swim has 2 meets this week, both away, today at Royal Oak High School and Thursday at Avondale High School. Good luck to our Charger teams. Congratulations again to our DECA members and Ms. Taye and Kende Bello. And that concludes your Charger report. Thank you.
Our next student board representative is Ms. Spears from Southfield Regional Academic Campus.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Dr. Linda Wood, Central Office staff and administrators, Southfield Schools, staff, parents, students, and guests. My name is Danae Spears, and I'm your student board member representative from Southfield Regional Academic Campus. Mrs. Brown Perkins' Business Department students held their annual blood drive on Wednesday, December 9th. On December 11th, Mrs. Hensman, Mrs. Gales, and Mr. Mason took a group of students on a field trip to Eastern Michigan University. We had the opportunity to tour the campus and have relevant panel discussions with current EMU students. I appreciated having the opportunity to visit the campus and see the dorm rooms. December 15th, Mr. Solomon took his STEM students on a field trip to Greenfield Village. Students could see firsthand product design, innovation, and evolution. I personally want to thank the City of Southfield Police Department and Officer Hughley for their contributions to our students and community by joining the nationwide program, Shout with a Cop. Students in our community benefited from the money and time donated by the Southfield Police Department. Just before break, Mrs. Gales, along with the students and adults, who belong to Women of Tomorrow made gift bags for the Kick Detroit program consisting of items needed for this time of year. During our winter break, Mrs. Williams-Hunter met with members of Project Womanhood at a restaurant. Members had the opportunity to meet outside of school, form relationships, and make individual and group goals. On January 6th, Mrs. McNeese announced that our school won $5,000 for the Made by Milk contest. Our art students won first place with their alligator sculpture. First place money will be used to improve our courtyard, our Southfield Regional, and purchase art supplies. Mr. Solomon and Project Manhood are setting a new trend for the new year. Every Monday, club members are wearing professional attire to start thinking about success at the start of every week. Furthermore, on January 18th, Project Manhood encourages you to participate in the 31st Annual Martin Luther King Peace Walk celebration. Every morning after First Block, I say a quote over the PA to help inspire and motivate students. Tonight, I would like to leave you with a quote by George Bernard Shaw. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their mind cannot change anything. Have a good evening, and thank you for your time.
Very good. Thank you. Very good. Next, we'll have the report of the superintendent.
Thank you, Board President. And the first thing that I'd like to share this evening is we have had a very special evening, but one of the elements of the special night was recognizing our board members. And we had a reception prior to the meeting for our board members. And we did that because this month happens to be Board Appreciation Month. The leadership work of a school board is tremendous work. And with that, I'd like to join here in Southfield with over 500 local and intermediate school districts across the state who are gathering and convening and having special moments like we're having to thank you. And to thank our board members and these community volunteers for the tremendous service and dedication that they give to this community. Tremendous service, dedication, and hours that are tireless hours that they put forth into making tough decisions that help shape the future of our school system. Michigan's public school board members dedicate hours to attend meetings, school functions, and preparation, and it requires a lot of preparation. Going over figures, going over written documents, synthesizing information, attending study sessions, making sense of all of the complexities that are happening locally but across the country and in this state that is impacting public education. I would say that collectively school board members in Michigan have spent over 7,000 hours attending training and professional development, including our board. You have heard me acknowledge them over the past as receiving certifications for the work and the training. The fact that they take tremendous pride in being very well informed and still moving toward the target of maintaining the honor board legacy that we have here in Southfield. That only helps in supporting the success of our school and our students. It's an exciting and equally challenging time in public education. You only have to open up a newspaper every day to know the challenges of public education. We proudly join our educators in the community in saluting these education advocates, all 7 of you, as you provide vision and leadership for student achievement, academic programs, and district funding to support the school facilities that we have here in Southfield Public Schools. I want to thank you. I want to thank you from the depth of my heart. It has been a wonderful opportunity for me to be a part of your team. And before I applaud you publicly, I just want to build a bridge to the legacy in the audience. And I'd like for former school board members, if you don't mind, to stand so that our community can also see that there is a tremendous legacy in our community that builds and connects to our board. And Mr.
Right.
James Jackson,
Right.
okay, Mrs. Margaret, okay. And there are many others, and we thank you also. And so with that, I want to publicly thank our 7 Board of Education members. I care so much. Thank you. I also want to take a moment, as we look around the room, we've had a lot going on in the room tonight, but you see some beautiful artwork. I'm looking back here and snowflakes and all the little images that remind me of what's happening outside. And so with that said, I'd like to thank the students and the teachers from Bernie K-8 and Stevenson Elementary for the work that you have shared and with us for this evening and for this month here in the boardroom. And the last thing on my report for this evening is I'd like to provide the board with an update from our marketing department. Our marketing department has been very busy, and this is the busy time of the year for many things, one including enrollment, but also other factors. Jackie, would you share?
Good evening again.
Good evening.
I'd like to share with you briefly what is going on in marketing. Recently, we conducted a survey, an online survey, and just to benchmark where we are and what people know about the district. And there are a lot of our programs that people are familiar with, but there are some that they are not as familiar with. And so our goal is to make sure that as many people as possible know about the programs that we offer. And it was interesting to note that on the survey, we asked them what do they think about the district. And our respondents told us that they believe that the district is a nurturing place with committed teachers, a place where children can grow. And then we asked them about themes. And one of the themes that resounded strongly was more choices, more learning. So for this particular campaign, our theme is more choices, more learning, or stated otherwise, more choices, more learning opportunities. So we began our campaign, which is supporting our strategic plan, and following up on some goals that the PR department had set. One of those goals was to be able to reach all children in Southfield and Lathrop Village, whether they were enrolled in the district or not enrolled in the district. So we were able to work with the mail house to obtain information so that we can mail to all families that have children in whatever demographic or age group that we wish. And so we're utilizing this information. And the beginning of January, we sent out a direct mail campaign. And you see the theme, more choices, more learning. And it went to all families with children 4 to 17 years old in Southfield and Lathrop Village. And it highlighted all of our programs, our college readiness programs, where parents can save money on college tuition because their students are enrolled in programs where they earn college credits while they're in high school. Our skilled trade programs where students can earn certificates in skilled trade. So we highlighted these things for our parents, as well as the elementary programs that we offer. And on the back, you can see that information. So if you don't have a child 4 to 17 in Southfield or Lathrop Village, you did not get the postcard. But if you did have one, you got the postcard. And the result, we're doing everything by results. We're looking at the effectiveness of PR and what it's really doing. We saw through Google Analytics that our web traffic was up 28% new visitors. So that was not people who've been before, but they were new visitors. We saw a spike of about 500 visitors the Monday after, and pupil accounting reported to me, Miss Ali herself, that her phones were ringing off the hook. And she was like, I was wondering why my phones were so busy. So that was excellent. And so in keeping with our theme of more choices, more learning, we realized that we were driving traffic to the web page. So we were careful to update the place where parents who were interested in enrolling in our district would go. And that would be the pupil enrollment page. And so we changed the face. We made it more engaging, more lively, more colorful. A lot of the busy information we put in drop-down tabs so that it didn't distract from the eye and it had a greater readability. And right in the middle where you see click to view our programs, we had a PDF that comes up and it has all of the program choices that parents can find in the district. So you can visit our website and check that out. And then we added a spotlight to our homepage. Again, more choices, more learning. And that page leads to a special page that highlights every single school in the district. So if you go to that page, under the drop-down tabs that you see below, what will pop up is what you see to the right, and there's the icon or the logo of every school. And when they click on that, they will see this. So we've created information on every school, what the school specializes in, what its focus is, as well as the extracurricular activities. And in addition to that, we are planning van wraps on SPS vans. These vans go throughout the community. We'll have more choices, more learning, and information on, you know, where to go to enroll. And so they can go, it's so economical and affordable. The vans can go for months, and people will see that advertisement on both sides of the van. Of course, our social media campaign, print ads in the Southfield Sun, and we're expanding to include other print places. And we're doing radio ads, but not just in Southfield and Lathrop Village. We're planning some radio ads in other places, but it's top secret, so I cannot tell you. And so just stay tuned. We're still in the process of updating our website and just looking at how we really can make sure that everyone knows how exceptional the programs are in Southfield Public Schools and the excellent results that these programs bring to our children. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes my report, Board President, and I will move it to Cabinet.
Sorry, after that anticipation, there are no reports today from the Finance Office. We do have an action item and informational items that if there are any questions when we get to that point, I'll be glad to help you with.
Good evening, board members, superintendent, members of the Southfield community. In my report, I will provide a brief update regarding the Michigan Student Test of Student Progress, or otherwise known as the MSTEP. Results of the first year of MSTEP from the Michigan Department of Education are now being processed and reviewed by the district. Our preliminary look at the data indicates that we have some work to do as the district to move student achievement forward. As the board knows, the state previously tested students using another test known as the MEP. Because this is the first year of MSTEP assessment, we are looking at the data as a baseline from which we can progress as a district. Two things will occur over the next several weeks that parents and community members should know about. First, parents should receive a letter from their schools with their child's individual results and a letter from their principal beginning in the next couple of weeks. And the superintendent has charged my office and the Division of Instruction with developing a series of presentations to parents and community members regarding the first year's baseline results and how the district's laser focus on instruction will improve those results moving forward. And that concludes my report.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, we'll have the report from the Head Start. Miss Madam Treasurer.
Thank you.
Does Ms. Hall have a report?
I'm sorry. No report for you, Ms.
Okay.
All right. Good evening again, board and community and staff and administrators. The Plessy Center for Early Childhood Education Director's Report and financials are as follows. For the portion that deals in enrollment, 217 students are currently enrolled, 158 are on the waiting list, and 25 listed as drops. The average daily attendance, with that, our enrollment, our attendance, and our finances are critical reports to make to the community for regards to the federal government. And so that's why both myself and Ms. Hill have broken out the percentages, and I chose to leave last month's, this is actually for the month of December, so November's numbers on there too, so that you can also see trends. Certainly with December, January, February, when we have inclement weather or it's hard for parents to get their kids to school, you'll notice that it's really a challenge to get to that 85%. So if you are a Bussey family member and you're listening to us right now, please, whatever it takes. And Ms. Hill would mention, if she was here this evening, that if you can't make it, just give them a call. They have to at least have some kind of idea that you're not going to make it, and they can still have credit towards the ADA. So I won't read all of those. I want to commend those who got to the 85 or better, and those who are under the 85% that you see in red. We just want to encourage you to bring that up for the month of January. The next slide will talk about the Child Adult Care Food Program meals served for the month of December. 686 breakfast, 754 lunch, 705 snacks. A quick little caveat here, Mr. Joyce was at that meeting as well, and I said to Ms. Hill, wow, you got great average daily attendance, but no one's eating. It's because I forgot to take into consideration it was a short month with the holiday break. The next slide should be discussing personnel. There are 3 vacancies in total, 1 Head Start teacher, 2 GSRPs. Ms. Hill did say that she recently received an application and that there is a shortage in early childhood. I'll let that sink in. With health updates, we only have the 2 children who need hearing screenings, not the actual screening, but a follow-up, which means that we met and exceeded our goals for compliance. Had we not, or had Ms. Hill let that slide, we would be up for recompetition, and everybody wants Southfield Public Schools Head Start programs resources, so we don't want to give anything back. The next slide details our IEPs. For the program, you have to have at least 10% of the population have IEP, so that really means 16. However, we have 19. 5 of those are with GSRP, 1 speech referral has been submitted, and 3 mental health referrals have been submitted. And I think that is something to let sink in as well. We're talking about students younger than 4 years old who do have to have those mental health referrals. Share a Smile adopted 9 Bussey families. Ms. Hill was adamant that not just the children, the families. So they were, parents got a chance to sign up for things. Somebody just wanted a bus card. You know, sometimes you are surprised that it's the little things that make the difference for some of our families. And so Share a Smile adopted 9 entire families, and thank you cards were given to those sponsors from the family. And the goal is to continue that partnership into the future. I am so happy to report, just in case you didn't hear it, but there's a reason to thank President Obama and to thank our Congress, which is that they have recently decided to finally properly fund Head Start to the tune of $570 million. And that brings it to a historic level of over $9 billion for early childhood. So I'm just reading from my notes. Senior Bush and Junior Bush didn't approve any measures to properly fund Head Start. So now they can increase staff salaries and cost of living adjustments, which most of you who follow anything to do with Head Start, it's hard to keep quality staff because we're not paying them nearly what they deserve. And so I just applaud President Obama and also the Congress for getting that done. Just quickly, I want to mention that Senator Stabenow received, we sent a thank you, and Senator Stabenow sent back a response just saying, let her know if there's anything else that she can do. And of course, we've got plenty. And then Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence has also stated that she would be happy to help out in any way she can. So the children made thank you cards. You could see a little image of those. I got a chance to take a couple pictures, and they will be placed in the mail and actually sent to President Obama and the Congress from our students. I think that's awesome. Just really briefly, contact your legislators in Michigan. Pre-K expansion is on the rise across the country, but Michigan is not a part of it. GSRP does not serve all children. So with our Head Start dollars, we're looking to be able to expand pre-K education, and currently Michigan is not a part of that pool of millions and millions of dollars. So if you happen to feel like writing an email or calling your legislators, ask them why we're not involved in that. All right, 5-year strategic plan. We're currently meeting the goals. They did decide to revise the job description to teachers to align with the Head Start teacher guidelines. And then with the self-assessment, we are on track with the corrective actions. The family service workers will work on the revision of the family partnership agreement. The RFP package that we all sat in and listened to back middle of December, she was able to get that sent out on time, and a copy is available in the office of Bussey. We're currently preparing for the self-assessment. Most board members are aware. If your calendars have that opening, please don't hesitate to show on the 25th and get your assignments. Upcoming events, very quickly. Empowerment Through Education and Employment Fair, Thursday, January 14th, 3 to 5 p.m. There's a list of vendors: Sherwin-Williams, the Southfield PD, Champions, Southfield Fire Department, many others, including Grand Canyon University and Apcot Institute. Why is this important? Why am I taking time to highlight that? Mr. Joyce will recollect also that Ms. Hill said it's hard to find busy parents to show for the employment fair, and they're hiring on the spot. So she says she's opened it up to the entire community of Southfield Public Schools parents and students. So definitely contact Bussy on that. Sweet Dreams, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. I wasn't, and I think it's great. Sweet Dreams is a nonprofit that is committed to improving children's health, well-being, and academic performance by, get this, providing sleep education and bedtime essentials. A lot of parents at Bussy in their assessing and surveying are like, I'm having a hard time getting my kid to go to sleep. And so companies like Sweet Dreams are up to the task. And after the 6 weeks of interaction, the students and the parent get a teddy bear and a blanket. So that's pretty neat. Lastly, you can see the details about the family engagement training, but I do want to highlight the father-daughter dance. That's going to be February 11th, and it's a masquerade ball. So you can probably imagine they'll have their little masks and their pretty little dresses, and so good job for them. Ms. Hill mentioned that mothers are not allowed. So please, mothers, don't try to disguise yourselves and get in there. They are watching the doors. They want this to be for the fathers and their daughters. Last comment is on Forgotten Harvest. The pickup is this Friday at 9 a.m., but Mr. Neal, who handles that for Bussy, also said that Solomon Temple, which I believe is on East 7 Mile, also has a Forgotten Harvest program where they do the same Fridays, the 1st and the 3rd, but it's from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So if you can't make it at 9 to Bussy, then certainly Solomon Temple, East Side, Detroit. And then lastly are the financials. Ms. Dankovich's slides, I just popped them right onto this PowerPoint. So I just want to say that there's $1,650,000 that is in the grant. You can see the breakdown in that pie chart. Next slide, please. Which will highlight our federal breakdown of how that budget is assessed. So by all means, take a snapshot, a screenshot, whatever you need, and let that sink in. We're about 35% of the way in terms of percent spent. Ms. Stankovich has assured us that we will not send any money back. We will get that money spent. And the next slide talks about where the community and the parents and families of Bussy, as well as the district, how we participate financially. And we are also right where we ought to be in terms of percentages to date as it relates to money expended or expenditures. And I believe that's all.
Right. Thank you, Trustee Charles.
I'll take a big sip.
Next on the agenda are action items, and these are items requiring action by the board. And I would ask for a motion to open report number 5441.
I move we open report 5441.
Support.
Properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Dr. Wood, do you have any additional information?
I will ask Kate Dinkovich to just provide just a brief overview.
Good evening. We are recommending an appropriations resolution tonight to amend and update the current general fund operating budget as required by the Uniform Budgeting and Accounting Act. The budget revision was shared previously at a board study session, and we are showing an improvement from the original projection that was presented in June to the tune of, from an operating standpoint, an improvement of nearly $2 million. Originally, we were looking at using fund equity of about $9.2 million, and in the revised proposed amended budget, we would be using $7.2 million. So that's nearly that $2 million improvement. Additionally, the amendment as it's presented reflects the actual audited fund equity that was presented by Plant Moran in November. And at that time, they did share that the projection or the actual number in comparison to the projection showed an improvement of about $3.8 million. So with this amendment, our projected fund equity as we start our 16-17 school year is estimated to be about $10 million.
Okay. Any additional questions?
I have one. I think you mentioned it at our study session on this, but the or maybe Dr. Wood would be the best to address this, the board's policy on the percentage that the fund
Certainly.
balance must maintain. Could you just share that with the community?
Yes. Currently, the board has adopted policy that our fund equity should be at 10% of our general fund. We are not at 10%. It is truly our goal to get to 10%. I will share that Ms. Stankovich said it, but it is something that we have to keep moving away from, and is spending. And it's the deficit spending that we have to use the fund equity to maintain and move forward. So those are just some of the concerns that as a board and as superintendent, we have to keep our eyes very much affixed to moving us out of that over the time that we have ahead.
Yeah, because I feel, Chair, Board President, that we're in a good place. You know, we're in a positive spot, but I don't want the community to fall asleep tonight thinking everything's grand, because there's still a lot of work to do, and just don't want to lose that.
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
Through the chair also, I have to also comment, is we have to be mindful that the state is watching us.
Absolutely.
And if we dip below what, Kate?
Under the early warning legislation, it's 5% of revenues.
So 5%
That
of revenue.
raises a flag.
Raises a flag. And we all know about emergency managers, so I won't get on that bandwagon. I'll leave that alone, because we all are very astute to what's happened and what's not happening with the emergency managers. Secondly, when you look at the revenues and expenditures, we still aren't working within our means. We're spending more than we should. So we're taking a very line-by-line look, the superintendent and the cabinet, as well as the board, at what we can and where we can make cuts, and also where we can save also. So it's no different in your home budgets, very similar to what you do in your own home budgets and finances. So once again, like Trustee Charles said, don't leave here thinking that we are okay. We are not okay, but we're not bad either. I don't want you to leave here thinking that we're negative either. We're working to ensure that we meet Imagine 2020 and have money in the bank, a savings account, be able to do and make the necessary changes, make the necessary repairs that are necessary to keep this district moving. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Trustee Williams. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none. Madam Secretary, call for the vote.
Trustee Charles?
Yes.
Trustee Robinson?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Trustee Lewis?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Trustee Poole?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. The next item would be informational items only, don't require action by the board. All right.
Board Member
Yes.
President?
Yes.
Board Member President. Per my new cause here is just to make sure community recognizes that bill summary 799, it's our bills. And this is for, and it looks like it's roughly for about 3 weeks of payroll, other disbursements, accounts payable. So basically $11.5 million just in those 3 weeks. It costs a lot of money to run a great school district like ours. So
Correct. That's $11,574,402.85.
there it is.
All right. With that, we're moving on into informational items. That's complete. Public participation. Only those persons with concerns related to school matters may participate during the public participation portion of this meeting. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. The board will listen to comments but may not respond during the meeting. Comments may be referred to an administrator or the superintendent for follow-up. As a matter of fairness, speakers with complaints against individuals are asked not to mention persons by name. Complaints concerning the employees should be brought to the attention of the school principals or other administrators before coming to the board. Your cooperation is appreciated. With that, we have one person, Mr. Tony Johnson. Just step to the podium, please, and give us your name and address.
My name is Tony Johnson. I'm at 21369 Evergreen. And I'm here because of Brace Letterly. Brace Letterly, I believe, is very much needed in the community. I've been speaking with Mr. Joyce, Mr. Siver, a couple of other folks. And I think that we can still maintain and coexist with Adler in that district. Now, just some facts of student enrollment. 12-13, there were 409 students at Adler, 721 at Brace Letterly. 13-14, 370 at Adler, 700 at Brace Letterly. In 14-15, there was 300-ish at Adler, and still over 500 at Brace Letterly, even with the enrollment leaving, with people hearing that they were going to be closing. And that itself should say something about the students in the district. There's a lot of students that need Brace Letterly in the area, and I think that I was speaking with Mr. Siver, as a matter of fact, just today. There's some repairs that I needed. I understand that. Windows maybe, air conditioning, don't know how much that would cost, but I think that that's a minor thing when you have lots of children in the area that I live and I see every day that need Brace Letterly, and I think that we can coexist. And I think that Mr. Joyce knows how to reach me. Some of you do. Just call. Consider it. I was told it's a done deal, but I believe that there's no ink that has dried. Nothing has been done to finalize it, and I'm just asking, please reconsider keeping Brace Letterly open. There's some folks here that echo my sentiments.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Johnson. Anyone else? Having none, I'll move on to board matters. Mr. Joyce.
Well, I'd just like to say that I have had a great pleasure in serving on this board going into the new year. We have had great collaboration and great teamwork. It's been a pleasure moving forward, and we have all come together to make some tough decisions. And I just want to keep doing just what we've been doing, and that's moving forward and making sure that this is a great school district. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Lewis.
Yes, I would just like to congratulate our newly elected president.
Thank you, sir.
I think he's an excellent leader, and I'm sure that he's going to do a wonderful job. I would also like to congratulate Leslie Love Smith
Thank you.
for being elected as our secretary. And I think that she's going to do an excellent job. Thank you.
Mr. Williams.
It's a beautiful thing sitting in this seat. So just say that. I would like to say Happy New Year to everyone here in the audience and in the listening audience. I would like to congratulate our newly elected officers. You will do a fine job. We are the team for the season. I've said that before, and I will continue to say that. We will not lower our expectations here in Southfield. We have high expectations, and we will meet these expectations and exceed them. And please don't forget about possibility thinking. The possibilities are numerous. We can do here in Southfield what we want to do. I've seen it happen. No place better than here. And I've been here since 1987, and I've enjoyed every moment meeting different people in the community and working here in this community. So with that, I look forward to a promising new year, and congratulations to our new comprehensive high school principal. She'll do a fine job as well.
Mm-hmm. A couple of quick things. This past weekend, we had a great discussion and deliberation about our new comprehensive high school. Anyone who's been paying attention knows that I'm an alumni of one of those wonderful campuses, and that I just want folks who I've grown up with in this community who, ride or die Blue Jay or ride or die Charger, just to know that great things are coming, and that if nothing else, if there's no other good reason for this merging, or actually this new school, is if you just go to Zillow.com or go to any of these local real estate websites, they're marking our schools very low. And no matter what traction we seem to get, it just seems to still be ones and twos, and those aren't the good ones. Those are the 10% and the below. So I'm just hoping, stepping out on faith, trusting in our awesome leadership and our capable team of cabinet, that it's going to be awesome, and that President Obama, the new education secretary, new president, all of those folks are going to be aware of Southfield Public Schools in just a short period of time. Mark our words. We are transitioning in a way that will change the course of education in the country, not just Oakland County, Michigan, but for the United States of America. And that's monumental. Applaud yourselves for being a part of the process at this point, and really just continue to be involved. And we can't do it alone. So certainly we need you, and we want you to continue to be supportive of us. And I think that'll do it for me.
Thank you, Trustee Charles. Trustee Smith.
Okay, so everyone said everything that I was going to say. So I would say Happy New Year. And as always, thank you all for being here. Congratulations, Ms. Jackson. Congratulations to the student ambassadors for all of the hard work to it, to getting the new name and the mascot and the colors. And I just really encourage the community to look at this truly as an opportunity. The change has come. The time it's a new time right now. So we are at a point where we are just going to continue to move forward, and this is a moment of opportunity. So I encourage you to stick around and find a way to plug in.
Thank you. Trustee Robinson, Vice President Robinson.
Thank you. Just a short note that next week, January 23rd through 26th, President Poole and I will be attending the National Advocacy Conference to be held in Washington, D.C. At that convention, we'll have the opportunity to meet with our Congressman, Senator Peters, Debbie Stabenow, and Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence to discuss our educational issues in Southfield and how their plans reflect us. So, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Robinson. And just to coattail what Vice President Robinson had to say, it's important that we advocate for our students. I was there last year and happened to get called out of the congressional luncheon to take a business call. And while in the hallway, I ran into, at that time, Deputy Secretary of Education, Dr. John King. And of course, I had to take a selfie, so got the selfie. Now he is the new Secretary of Education, who I have a relationship with. We've exchanged business cards. He's got visibility to, as did Secretary Duncan, to Southfield Public Schools and some of the things that we do here that kind of attracted attention to the Secretary on how we educate students. Trustee Robinson and I will be there again advocating for Southfield Public Schools. And it's important that we meet with Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence because, as most of you know, President Obama signed a new Education Student Success Act late last year. But what you may not know is that Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence added an amendment to that act to include the tracking of foster children through education. So with that kind of visibility coming out of this district, actually being a part of this board, we need to speak with Congressman Lawrence, congratulate her on that achievement, and at the same time let her know what we need here in Southfield Public Schools. So I look forward to making that trip along with Vice President Betty Robinson, and we'll report back next month on the results of that trip. With that, announce future board meetings. Tuesday, January 26th at 6 o'clock, we'll have student hearings. That'll include Trustee Williams, Trustee Joyce, Trustee Charles, and Trustee Smith. Tuesday, February 9th at 7 o'clock, regular board meeting. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I make a motion that we end this meeting.
Support.
Properly moved and supported, the meeting of the Southfield Public Schools is now adjourned. Okay, made it through. Sitting back. Watching the rest of them.
Take it out.
Good.
Is this meeting?
And put it
Stick it in here.